All right. Hi, Courtney. I'm Kaan. I'm from the SVC Local Engagement Peer Helper team, and that's a little intro about myself. If you'd like to introduce yourself, you can go ahead.
Sure. My name is Courtney. I'm Courtney Riddell. I am from Rainbow Day Camp. And if you don't know Rainbow Day Camp, we are an inclusive summer day camp within Guelph. We've been around for almost 50 years now. So it's exciting.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I guess a little continuation of the introduction. My first question would be to tell us a little bit about your organization and your personal role within the organization.
Awesome. So, yeah, like I said, Rainbow, we consider ourselves an inclusive day camp, which means we support kiddos of all abilities. Our goal is just to make a safe, comfortable environment, give kiddos support who need it so that everybody can enjoy day camp. And I'm the administrator, so that role is kind of like a behind the scenes, prepping everybody. So then when camp actually rolls around, things move a little smoothly is the goal, hopefully.
Awesome, awesome. Um, So, what has been some of the impacts COVID has had on your organization, your clients, the volunteer engagement from staff or any newcomers into the organization as well?
For sure. So, a COVID obviously last year was really, really tough for us. Some of the things now that seem normal at the time were like, there's no way we can, have kiddos wear masks. There's no way counselors can wear masks. We can't do this. So, we decided last year our safest option would be to move all of our programming online. It was great. It was really good for the families that it worked for. Um, but that being said, there was a lot of our families that it just wasn't ideal. Their poor kiddos can't sit in front of a screen for too long. And they missed being outside. They missed that social interaction. They missed running around. Um, so yeah, we really really want to push for in person this year. We're trying to make a billion different plans to make it happen. As for our volunteers, last year as well, it was very difficult because we were so uncertain of what was going to happen to even like try and bring people on. I think we had one or two kind of volunteers on the online platform last year, whereas in a normal year we have about 50 to 60 actually at camp. And then this fall, I did have the opportunity though to have a few positions virtually that people could volunteer for. So that was fun and interesting for us.
Awesome. Seems like you guys did a good job translating the program into the camp into virtual scenarios. And I guess that does kind of answer my next question a little bit, but I was going to ask what are some successes and how your organization has managed to stay afloat and continue to provide resources and connect with the community?
So, like I said, last year when we moved everything virtually, we were learning as we go. We threw up like a price, and then it was like it didn't really work for a lot of our families, so we made it really low. And then we were actually even able to connect with the Guelph Children's Foundation, and we were able to give like 10 subsidy spots every week, which is amazing because we've never been able to do that. But we think because things were kind of covered, we just wanted to keep connected. We wanted to keep connected with our families. We wanted to keep connected with the community. So even new families that didn't know about Rainbow were able to kind of learn a little bit about us. It wasn't obviously the same, but they definitely got like the Rainbow feel to them. So that I think was a huge success last year.
That's awesome. That's amazing. It's really nice to see that like some collaborations can allow for opportunities that may have not existed previously. Our SVC team actually also has a subsidy for like volunteers because sometimes certain organizations want like background checks. I know that your organization does as well, like the police checks. And so we provide subsidies as well to students to allow them to get those opportunities, even if they don't have the funds to get those checks and to like transportation and everything. So it's nice being able to support students who still want to help or children who want to participate
Of course.
but are not as fortunate. And so another question that I had was, why do people volunteer with your team? Like what kind of experiences and skills does a volunteer gain from an opportunity like this?
So I think for us, the main thing people, when they come and want to volunteer for Rainbow, it's just really to support that inclusive environment. I think a lot of people who come volunteer for us really love working for kids. Sometimes it's something that might be in their career field in the future. The people who come and work at camp obviously get some really hands-on experience that they might not receive anywhere else. And especially if they're looking to work with kiddos with exceptionalities, then they know if they come to our camp, they're most likely going to have that opportunity. And we really support our volunteers. We train them, we make them feel 100% comfortable. A lot of our volunteers start volunteering and then come back in a counselor role eventually because they fall in love with it. And yeah, so it's good.
Amazing, yeah. And it's definitely a different experience than some other camps because you guys are all inclusive, right? So, like you said, it's a little bit more, it's like a better experience than just possibly just a regular camp because you get to play with all types of kiddos.
That's great.
Um, and moving into the summer, are there any current volunteer opportunities or events that Rainbow Day Camp is recruiting for?
For sure. Yeah. So we actually have we have a few roles happening right now. We have a few that can be done virtually, and it's pretty much at people's time. We're very flexible that way. We're just looking for obviously extra help for when people can help us. So there's one role that is like a programming kind of researcher assistant. We know this year is going to be very unique with all of the things we normally do, is not only going to have to be fun and different and unique, but now it has to like fit into these guidelines that we are guessing, right? So that is a really fun position. A few people could take on that role. I do have like person on my end that does programming, but there's so much to do that it would be great to have a few volunteers helping us. And then we also are planning an online fundraiser in the spring. So I'm looking for a few volunteers to help me with that project. It's the first kind of big fundraiser we've done, obviously, in a little while since we can't do anything in person. It's going to be virtually. There's going to be lots of fun elements to it. So we're looking for help with that. And then fingers crossed that summer camp can happen in person, and we will be looking for our in-camp people. So usually for that one does have a little bit more of a time commitment. We ask that volunteers volunteer for the whole week if possible, and we run for 8 weeks in the summer. And it's just great. It's consistency for our campers, it's consistency for the volunteers, and for the counselors and everybody involved. So yeah, those are the main positions we have open right now.
That's wonderful. It seems like there's quite a wide variety. Like you were mentioning, for various careers, even the programming one
Right?
is nice for like computer science students, many people involved in engineering and such. Um, I guess a little bit onto that, is there co-op positions available or are these just fully volunteer positions?
Right now, these are just volunteers. That's something probably in the future I'd love to look a little bit more into. Rainbow is kind of like just me on the off season, so
Nice.
there's a lot of stuff happening. But as I kind of grow and develop this position, I've definitely started kind of toying with the idea of having co-op students, placements, things like that, because yeah, like I said, it's a very unique learning opportunity. And especially when, not only do you have to like say do programming, but now you're doing programming for COVID restrictions and for kiddos of all abilities. So there's so many levels to it that I think it's great for people to learn.
For sure. What is one of your most favorite personal experiences at Rainbow Day Camp?
There are so many, like it's so hard to pick. I have to say, like, just in general, kids come on the first day and they're a little bit shy and they're a little bit nervous. And then by Friday, they do not want to leave and they're kicking and screaming because they don't want to leave. They form relationships with other campers. They form these relationships with our counselors. Our counselors know every kiddo's name. They will turn the corner and they're like, hey, so and so. And the kid's face lights up like they are the biggest rock star. They just love it. Yeah, I think that would have to be. I know it's a cop out because it happens almost every week, but I love it so much. And also, actually, we used to be at the university and we'd go swimming. So there was this diving board. And that was always a big moment. Kiddos, same thing, that would be nervous at the beginning of the week. And then at the end, people would be cheering them on and they'd do a big jump into the pool and everyone would clap. So that's always, I have some really fond memories of that.
That's amazing. That's so adorable.
Yeah, they are awesome.
I guess last question, just to wrap some things up. What is one thing you hope listeners can take away from this interview?
I just hope that they take away what Rainbow is kind of about, and they take away that we are really willing and wanting to work with you guys and work with volunteers. And if there's not something on the website right now that's available, like there might be something later. Or like I said, we're constantly just trying to learn and trying to see where we could use people and help people. And it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. It could be something little. It could be like what works with your schedule as well. But just that we're always looking for a little bit of help.
Amazing, awesome. And our on our side, on the SVC side, our course link database, I believe, always has your organization there. And so whenever opportunities arise, we mention that it's currently recruiting. And so the best way for many students to get involved is to stay in contact, check the website, and I'm not sure if you guys are partnered with Pin Network, but it could possibly be there as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice to stay up to date with that, stay in contact, as there's many positions all the time. All right, thank you so much for your time today, Courtney. It was great talking about Rainbow Day Camp.
Thank you
I'm
for having
sure,
me. I really appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. It was very fun.